What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 147th edition of Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, aka the fourth greatest grenadian of all time.
Perfect.
Aka the Little Wayne of podcasts, because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J train.
Perfect.
Let's welcome my co-host for this episode, Cousin BigThad. BigThad,
Yeah.
what's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, cuz. What's going on?
Doing good, man. How do you like the background?
It looks good, man. It looks good. I like the LED lights. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I thought you were talking about when you sent me in a text message, but nah, that looks dope. You know what I'm saying? That looks dope.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
I wish I could do something like that here, but I don't own this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing locations where I can right now. You know what I'm saying?
No problem, man. How you feeling, man, this week?
Feeling good, man. Got some pool billiards things that's going on this week. So yeah, man, kind of excited. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully once COVID calms itself down, we could have those national tournaments again. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So
Yeah, man. You have a big playoff this evening, so we're gonna wrap up the show a little sooner than normal, but that's all good, man. This is the 147th edition of Sports Reality. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We got a lot to get into for this week's episode. We are going to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend, everything that's going to happen with that. Also, other news in the NBA, the New York Knicks. We're going to actually talk about the New York Knicks.
wow.
We're actually going to talk about the New York Knicks during this episode. Haven't spoken about them in a very, very long time. We'll also get into NFL news with J.J. Watt, Russell Wilson. We'll also get into a big scandal that has occurred in the sneakerhead industry. We'll get into that. We'll also get into our sports free zone. We'll talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, canceling Eminem. Did you hear about that?
Eminem, like the candy Eminem or
Eminem,
rapper
the
Eminem?
rapper.
Oh Lord, what now?
And then we will wrap up the show with an interview with Erika Fernandez, also known as Curls in Sports on all social media platforms. This will be part one of Women in Sports since it is Women's Month. So shout out to all the women out there. Hopefully there's some women out there who are watching and will listen to this podcast later today. I'm excited about this episode. I really am. Let's just get right into it. NBA health and safety protocols. Let's start with that real quick. The Toronto Raptors, like their whole coaching staff, it was put into the health and safety protocol. They missed several games already. Not sure when it will be the next time they will play. The Raptors are in Florida.
Aren't they playing in Florida? Like,
Yeah,
their
that's their
home.
home base for the season. And
Well, see, that's the problem right there. Why would you have a team? Okay, you have a team from outside wherever, and you have them play in Florida of all places. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have just had them play in Seattle or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they still have a stadium there where the Supersonics used to play. So
I think so logistically, because they're an Eastern Conference team, it will just be a nightmare for travel.
okay.
Also,
okay.
I believe the Key Arena is being renovated for the expansion team, the Seattle Kraken, that's coming, I think, next year.
Oh, the soccer team.
No, the hockey team.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I
new
forgot all about that. All right.
Yeah. So I believe that's the problem why you couldn't do Seattle and Vancouver, a little bit more north, but still with the nightmare of traveling to the east a lot because you're in the Eastern Conference. And I don't think owners would have wanted to put a team from the West to the East just to like for this season.
Right.
It could work with Memphis.
Memphis, New Orleans.
It could definitely work with Memphis because
Right.
Memphis is very, very east.
Right.
and you could put Toronto and make them the Vancouver Raptors for a season.
Right.
You know, things like that. But hey, they decided Florida. I know they were down there in the bubble. Things went well because they're in the bubble, but it is the bubble. So now you know, it's the coaches that seem to have the that are in this health and safety protocol. So we'll have to see how all of that plays out. Let's now get into NBA All-Star Weekend. Big Dad, you excited for NBA All-Star Weekend?
Of course not. I'm one of the first people like, yo, why are they even doing this? Like, I understand it's an all-star game, but when you have the city saying, don't come here, we understand that you got the all-star weekend. Don't come here. We don't want the fans to come here. So what's the sense, man? Really? You know what I'm saying? And isn't it not 3 days now? It's like they're doing it in 1 day.
Yes. So what they're going to do is have, I think, the skills competition and the 3-point shootout. Then they'll have the first half of the All-Star game, then the slam dunk contests, and then the second half of the All-Star game. Now, mind you,
so this is going to be like what, a 6-hour ordeal on 1 day?
I mean, the game will be about, because of the game itself may be about 3 hours 15 minutes.
Right.
Because a normal NBA game is about a little over 2.5 hours, even on national television.
Right.
You have the slam dunk contest during halftime. Let's just say 4 hours for that time slot. The 3-point shootout, I believe, is like,
it's at least 2 hours.
No, it's not that long.
Come on, bro.
It's like 45 minutes. It's like 45. Okay, so it's 8 guys, a minute piece.
You sure it's a minute? Is it a minute?
Yeah, it's a minute, and then they just knock out. I think they knock out like 4 guys. Oh, actually, I don't even know.
You know they're gonna have look.
It used to be 8, then 4, then 2. It might just be 8 and 2. I don't even know.
That's weird.
but that was like 45 minutes. But look, the whole thing might be a 5-hour. Might be a 5-hour.
Man, you know you're gonna have commentary in between each shooter and all that other stuff. It's gonna take longer than you think, man. I'm trying to tell you, this whole thing altogether is gonna be like a 6-7 hour ordeal on, what is it, on ESPN or is it on TNT?
Right, it's on TNT.
On TNT on a Sunday, or is it Saturday?
It'll be Sunday.
Okay, yeah, they don't got nothing playing on TNT on Sundays. Yeah, they could do that 6 hours right there. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole 6 hours.
No. I know. I got things to do.
Right.
It's finals week for me. I got things to do.
Right. No, I feel you.
But Kevin Durant's not going to be in the All-Star game. I believe it's Jason Tatum is going to take his spot.
Is that still because of COVID?
No, because he has the hamstring injury.
Oh.
And then in the West, who is the person that is out? I honestly can't remember who's out. Devin Booker's in now because of injury.
Oh, but AD.
AD, yes.
Yeah. Wow. I thought you were thinking of somebody else altogether, and not considering AD at all, because that's why Booker got in. So you just completely forgot about AD altogether.
Yeah, I forgot he hasn't been. Like, I forgot he's not part of the Lakers right now. I mean, we'll talk about the Lakers a little bit later in this segment. The slam dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who's in the slam dunk contest?
No, dude, I don't even know who's in the 3-point contest. So yeah, no. See, that usually I would know, but I don't really care this year for some reason.
All right, the skills challenge. I know headliners are going to be Luka Doncic and Chris Paul.
That's cool.
I believe what's his name? Dude from the skills challenge. Here it is. Robert Covington of the Trailblazers, Luka Doncic. I was really trying to guess. And I was just like, this is gonna be terrible radio, terrible podcasting. I said, let me just figure out who's actually
Yeah, yeah.
the skills challenge is Robert Covington of the Portland Trailblazers, Luka Doncic of the Mavericks,
Okay.
Chris Paul of the Suns,
Right.
Julius Randle of the Knicks, Domantas Sabonis of the Pacers, and Nikola Vucevic of the Magic. That is starting at 6:30 on Sunday.
Okay.
Then immediately after, it'll be the 3-point shootout where it's Devin Booker of the Suns, Jaylen Brown of the Celtics, Steph Curry of the Warriors, Zach LaVine of the Bulls, Donovan Mitchell of the Jazz, and Jason Tatum of the Celtics.
Look, there's no reason for Steph Curry to lose. With that crew he's going against, there's no reason for him to lose at all.
There really isn't. Because,
that's what I'm saying.
Devin Booker has won. Mm-hmm. He's won before.
Right.
But
who is he playing against?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't have been playing against Steph.
I believe Steph was in that one. I believe
Steph
when he did lose.
Steph didn't win. He just didn't want to win it. That's all that was.
And then you sound like a Steph Curry stan right there. He just didn't want to win.
He just didn't want to win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're the all-time 3-point shooter. There's no sense for you to lose, especially with this crowd that's in there this year. Okay, it should be Booker and Steph in the final. Compared to who's playing in it, it should be Booker and Steph in the final.
That's true.
It should. Yeah, it should. We'll see what happens though.
And then the slam dunk contest. Anthony Simons of the Portland Trailblazers, Cassius Stanley of the Indiana Pacers, and Obi Toppin of the New York Knicks. Now,
what
you might have noticed, it's only 3 guys. The fourth was supposed to be Zion Williamson.
Oh, Zion punked out?
And Zion said he's not competing.
See, what's going on with the slam dunk contest, man? It's like ever since LaVine and that year, LaVine and Aaron Gordon, it's like it's been terrible. Like completely terrible.
I mean, let's be real frank. The slam dunk contest has been bad.
It's been bad for a long time. Don't get me wrong.
It's like the early 2000s.
Yeah. But that LaVine Gordon one kind of like sparked it back. You know what I'm saying?
And then you've had guys like what's his name? Jones. Is it Jones?
Yeah.
From last year, from the Heat.
Yeah.
Who was pretty good. You've had who else who's been good? I don't know. I can't remember. Look.
Well, you know Zion, what Zion's move was going to be was a whole, I'm going to pull back dunk. He don't got nothing else. That's all he got. Every single dunk is, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Look, Zion, man, he really disappointed me with this one. He could have done something that a lot of greats haven't even done. Like LeBron's never been in a slam dunk contest.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to me.
Kobe's been in one, and it was his rookie year. We spoke about that last week.
Right.
I'm not going to get into that, but
right,
that would have been really exciting to see Zion Williamson. Look, I feel like these guys just don't care anymore when it comes to the slam dunk contest. Right, I'm not going to say they don't care about basketball. Right. They just don't care when it comes to the slam dunk contest anymore. And I don't know what it is. Like, honestly, I think the issue is there hasn't been a star that said, I want to be in it.
Right.
And back in the day, stars were in it.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Then Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And then after that, you still had the best dunkers were still in it.
Right.
You got your Jimmy Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
You had Sean Kemp in it.
Right.
You had the rare year where D Brown wins it.
Yeah, with the blind, with the arm over the eyes.
Isaiah Ryder.
Yeah.
And then they weren't stars, but they were
They were
dunkers.
good. They were dunkers. Yeah. They were dunking all over everybody.
Lately, we just been getting whoever was the rookie or second year player that's just around and be like, yo, can you go out there?
And had a couple dunks in the game. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing spectacular or anything like that.
Like 2 years ago it was Hamidou Diallo.
Yeah.
And where is he?
Is he in the league still?
I assume I don't know. I don't know if he's in the league, but that's my point. Like this is bad.
Bad. It's bad, man.
It is bad. And I just think he is one of my favorite players of all time. And someone's going to say you're a hater. I think LeBron killed it, though. Because if LeBron at an early age had said, yes, I want to be in it and I will, I think people would have followed suit.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Like anytime in the past 12 seasons, if he decided to do it, it would have been cool again.
Mind you.
But most definitely, like in this first like 5-6 years, definitely he would have definitely did it. Especially before he got like big. Yeah, he was getting it.
Mind you, LeBron has done slam dunk contest worthy dunks in warm-ups.
Right.
Like done stupid stuff. Where you're just like, well, why don't you just compete in the slam dunk contest? What are you scared to lose? And I think that's what it is. No one wants to actually lose.
Look, man, he's lost NBA Finals games. You know what I'm saying? He's lost championships. What's the difference with him losing a slam dunk contest? That means nothing.
Perfect.
It's the ego, I think. I think it's all the ego. And then the All-Star game is going to be following the 3-point shootout. We mentioned the slam dunk contest is going to be during halftime of the All-Star game. And that was one thing Zion did say, well, I'm in the All-Star game. I don't really want to like do the slam dunk contest. That was pretty much his.
You'll be warm. You know what I'm saying? You'll be warm. You don't have to warm up and dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like these other dudes, they're gonna have to like warm up and dunk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they might have a couple more days to like prepare, but I think he has the same amount too. So he's just punking out.
Yeah, mind you. You could do it and then just be like, all right, for health and safety reasons, I'm just not playing the second half of the All-Star game. It's an All-Star game.
Right.
Everyone's gonna know you're in it. Like, come on. Like, what's the problem? But anyways, other news in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks, they fired their head coach Lloyd Pierce.
Look, I don't even know who that is, so I know his assistant, but I don't even
How do you not know who Lloyd Pierce is?
I don't know who Lloyd Pierce is.
All right, I'm just messing with you. I mean,
did you know who he was?
I knew who he was because he's black, but that was pretty much the reason why I knew. He was one of the black head coaches in the NBA, and he's been on like a lot of staffs as an assistant coach. He's had success. I believe he's at least been on a championship team. I believe as an assistant coach. Look that up for me, BigThad. Right, he was fired by the Atlanta Hawks. Rumors came out that him and Trae Young did not get along. And then after he got fired, reports came out that it wasn't just Trae Young. It was John Collins. It was Cam Reddish. It was a lot of the players. Sources are saying that Lloyd Pierce was trying to hold the team accountable, get them to play defense, criticize them in film sessions. The players didn't like it. They went to management. Now, the problem here is management created an environment where they encouraged the players to come to them about issues instead of, hey, try and handle that with your coach, and then we'll go from there. Because usually you got an issue, you talk to the coach. You don't have an issue and then go straight to the GM, and that's what reports are saying from very prominent NBA insiders. What you got to add, that?
All right, so he was a coordinator for player development for the Cavs between 2007 and 2010. Coordinator of player development for the Cavs. He was an assistant coach with Golden State during the 2010-2011 season under Keith Smart. He was with the Grizzlies as an assistant. He was part of player development there. And for the 76ers, he was in charge of the team's defense and sometimes involved in play calling during timeouts for the 76ers in the 2013-2014 season. And then now he was hired as the head coach and fired. So
okay, maybe I just embellished everything.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like when you told me that, when you put the link out that this dude got fired, I was like, yeah, I had no idea who this is. So it kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But then now looking at what he's done, I'm not surprised that in 2 seasons that he's now fired. Be honest with you. Like, there's nothing to show me that he was really worthy of being a head coach, unless like somebody just didn't, unless it's because of his staff. You know what I'm saying? So like the staff that he has there, it worked out for him. But it's the Hawks. The Hawks is a very young team, so you got to deal, especially if you've been in coaching since 2007. You got to be in touch with these young players, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand you were player development with a lot of teams, especially that Cavs 2007 to 2010 team. Yeah,
with LeBron.
You know what I'm saying? So development takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? You're going to deal with young players, but those young players that you dealt with back then are older players. They're veterans now. Like, they're actually, some of them might probably not even in the league. You know what I'm saying? That's between 10 to 13 years between that Cavs team and now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, Philly. Philly was
so the thing with Philly, he was on that staff during the whole trust the process time, and that's where other front office execs saw potential in him, and that's why he got the Atlanta job.
Okay. But see, yeah, I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know he was on that staff, man, until I looked it up.
Let's get into this.
Okay.
He is now out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because players couldn't get along.
Right.
The report said that him and Trae Young started beefing this season, at least the season. Cam Reddish didn't like how he would get on him in film session and in practice. Bogdanovich, didn't like what was going on. John Collins was already frustrated because the Hawks paid a lot of people like Bogdanovich and then Chris Dunn, but they didn't extend him. And then now he's dealing with Lloyd Pierce, who's getting on them. And so it was a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. I mean, you could take coaching out of his play calling or whatever out the play. You know what I'm saying? Him getting on these players, probably keeping them accountable of what's going on and everything. And they're losing. Well, I mean, they're in the Eastern Conference, so what they have been losing hasn't been really that terrible because everybody from 1 to 5 is under 500. So, I mean, that's not really. Would I have fired them because of their record? No. You know what I'm saying? But if your players aren't feeling you, and ownership sees that, then yeah, man. I guess you got to go when it comes to ownership. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. Also, Lloyd Pierce did say, look, this is a playoff team and we're going to make the playoffs this year. So, of course, seeing how things are going, probably like, look, this is not going the way we're supposed to go, where we thought we were now.
But they're kind of on pace to make the playoffs in the East.
They are, but they're not where
they really wanted to be. Right,
Yeah.
right.
And at the beginning of the year, I mean, they were one of the hottest teams at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Like, I was sitting here saying, hey, they could be a dangerous team in the playoffs. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Now, Trae Young is the star on that team.
Yeah.
Trae Young has unfortunately gone down a path that can be very detrimental to his career. And at the end of the day, no one's going to remember that John Collins was upset with Lloyd Pierce. No one's going to remember that Bogdanovich or a Cam Reddish or a Daniel Hunter.
Right.
They're going to remember Trae Young didn't get along with Lloyd Pierce.
Right. And now it's like, if there's anything happens, they're going to be like, is he going to get along with me? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to get along with our coaches? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to get along with management? You know, so yeah, I feel you.
Not only that, if they don't make the playoffs this year or even next year, people are going to say maybe Trae Young is the issue. And everyone's going to look at Luka Doncic, which they already, the comparisons are there. You know, Trae, remember that they got traded. Their picks got traded. Their rights got traded.
Right.
Luka's made the playoffs in the West with a team that is very similar to the Hawks.
Yeah.
Like, the Mavericks are not good on paper.
Right.
Actually, let me rephrase this. The Mavericks are not good when you take Luka Doncic off the team.
True.
Like, on paper or in actual games. They're not good.
Right.
Kristaps is okay. He's okay, but the rest of those guys are just Jags, just another guy.
Right.
Which is very similar to Atlanta. And the Hawks are in the East, in the Southeast Division.
Right.
Where last year it was only Miami that was decent.
Right.
So he got to get good, man. They got to get good. Let's talk about a team that is playing pretty good. The New York Knicks. Shout out to Auntie Irene. She's a faithful New York Knicks fan, even to this day. Even when the Brooklyn Nets came to Brooklyn, she said, nah, the Knicks are my team.
Right.
They've been bad for a while, but now they're playing pretty damn good right now. Above 500 for the first time in years this far into the season.
Bruh.
They have an all-star on the team, Julius Randle.
That's so weird to me.
Derrick Rose. Have you seen what he's been doing?
Derrick Rose has been he's been under the radar for a couple of years now, but he hasn't, like, after getting back from injury, he's been real solid.
Very
good.
Very good. It's almost like, okay, he realizes that he does not have the athleticism and quickness that he did, but he's still quick.
Right.
Like, he's just not as quick as he was, but it's now like his game is maturing. The jumper is there. And he's realizing that, I don't have to play 100 miles per hour
and have to play at the rim every single play.
And so he's doing pretty good. I mentioned Julius Randle. He is an all-star.
That's so weird.
They have a young talent like RJ Barrett, who's playing pretty good this year. Yeah. Obi Toppin is contributing, and he's in the slam dunk contest. By the way, I do want to see Obi Toppin because that's who I wanted the Wizards to get in the draft.
Right.
But he was taken right before.
I haven't seen any games with him yet. Granted, I don't think I've watched any Knicks games at all, but
Yeah, it's almost
How's
like
how's he been doing? How's he been doing?
honestly, I've heard he's been playing okay. I've heard he's contributing to the team. Now,
But that's all that matters. Is being
have I actually seen him play personally? No. I'm just going by what people are saying and also what a lot of NBA insiders are saying. He's averaging almost 5 points, 2.5 rebounds, shooting about 47% from the field. The 3-point, obviously, you would want to get a little higher, but he is a rookie. That's what to expect. He's going to have these ups and downs. I do want to get into what was the next topic that I had here. Oh, Buddy Hield. Did you hear the news on Buddy Hield?
No, I forgot. Actually, I forgot Buddy Hield was still playing. To be honest with you. Like I saw, you know what I'm saying? I saw college when he played in college, first couple years in the NBA, but he's not been like out there for me to be like, oh, Buddy Hield. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So no, what's going on with him?
Buddy Hield, fastest to 1,000 3-pointers made in NBA history.
Oh wow.
That would mean he was even faster than Steph Curry.
That's crazy.
Would you have thought that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You would not have thought that. But he's there. And he's still young.
Right.
We got to really ask this question. Can he ever catch Steph?
No.
You have to ask the question because he's already the fastest to get there. He's also, I believe, the youngest. And if he were to just stay healthy at the rate that he's going, he's at a faster rate than Steph. So at the rate that he's going, and let's remember Steph has had some injuries. What if Steph has another year where he misses 20 games?
Right.
Or even 15. Let's say he only plays the remainder of his career about 65 to 70 games a year. And he just stays at the same pace. And Buddy Hield stays at the same pace. It's something you got to think of. Something you got to think about.
Maybe.
Do I think it'll...
Well, no, I don't. We'll see. The reason why I say I don't think so is because I don't think he's taking the amount of attempts Steph does. You know
that could be true. I never looked at the numbers that way.
I think the number of attempts, I'm sure Steph probably has at least doubled his attempts. You know what I'm saying? To him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see that it could be quick. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I had to look at those stats to see, if right now, but yeah, right now with quickest to 1,000 3-pointers, yeah, it would seem that he would possibly be able to catch up to Steph. But we have to look at like how many the attempt, you know what I'm saying? So we could probably see that either, of course, Steph has had more misses, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably
because of attempts and all that. But yeah, good for Buddy. I don't know if he could catch up to him though. It's Steph.
Let's now get to the favorite teams of the hosts. We are Washington Wizards fans.
Yes, sir.
Wizards are on a 2-game losing streak after losing to the Memphis Grizzlies last night.
It's okay.
But I do want to get to the Boston Celtics game. Bradley Beal, 47 points in a loss against the Boston Celtics.
And it was a freak loss. It was a freak loss, man. Fluke. Oh, man. Couldn't believe it.
To those that don't know, the Boston Celtics are down by 4 or down by 3.
Down by 3, yeah.
Tatum gets a layup.
They let him get a layup.
True,
though.
They did.
Yeah. Which I understood why they let him get the 2. You know what I'm saying?
Bradley Beal gets the inbound pass. He's double teamed. He gets out of the double team, but then slips on the court on a wet spot.
Tatum.
Slips out of bounds. Celtics get the ball. Tatum hits another layup. They end up ultimately winning. What a terrible way to go out. Now, Bradley Beal, this is the 11th straight game that he scored over 40 points, and they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think this is happening?
Not enough defense. I mean, let's keep it. It's going to be the same storyline all year long. The Wizards, like, regardless, if you look on paper, you would think the Wizards aren't a good team at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just by names. If you just go by names compared to other teams in the league, you wouldn't think them to do anything. But over the past couple of years, you've realized that they shoot, and they shoot very well, and they can score with the best of the best. Mm-hmm. The problem is with them is, one, they don't play consistent defense, but also they don't get those much needed stops. You know what I'm saying? They've been saying the same thing about Brooklyn all year. It's like Brooklyn, yeah, their defense is terrible, just like the Wizards, but they find a way to get those important stops when needed, especially in these close games. The Wizards, I mean, that game, they looked so good, but they didn't get, the thing is, they didn't even get the lead for the first time until the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. But they were playing quality defense in that third quarter that made that lead happen. And then fourth quarter, they're going back and forth. You know, certainly they'll get up to like a 6 or 7 point lead. Then they'll have a misplay on defense. Well, actually, no. I think Scott Brooks he was making a terrible decision in regards to Robin Lopez switching on Kemba when Kemba came in the game. Mm-hmm. You know, say they'll do a pick and roll, and Lopez had to switch, and Lopez is too slow for him. You know what I'm saying? But when they put him with Mo Wagner, it wasn't working as well. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get that offensive output that you get from Robin Lopez down low, because he was killing it down low with the.
He was. You got to give him credit. He was
with those weird hooks that he had. And then
only center in the NBA with hooks right now.
And then he's also a good passer too. So if he gets it out there, he could get it out to that person on the out, and boom, you're good. But yeah, it was just timely stops that they needed, and it just so happened that being that close in time to the end of the game, that that slip, they couldn't clean up the floor for that slip not to happen. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. But, and even Brad knew. But you know what? When they had to inbounds that ball, to get the lead, where Boston get that lead, there was terrible defense on that. You would have thought they would have played tight defense, tight defense. You know what I'm saying? But they did not. They would play usual Wizards defense, and Tatum got that score again.
It was so frustrating. Now let's get to Scott Brooks real quick. Scott Brooks said after the game, when Beal got doubled, because it was enough time, he said he should have just called timeout.
But didn't they not have any timeouts?
No, they had timeouts.
Oh, they did have a timeout.
Yes, and he didn't call it.
Wow.
And he said, that's on me. I should have called timeout. I think there's too many that's on me's for Scott Brooks in his stint here for the Washington Wizards.
Facts.
Especially at the point, look.
You're playing to win.
I thought Beal was going to get out of it, and he pretty much did. It was literally a wet spot that got him. At the same,
I think Bill was thinking they were going to foul him. I think I thought they were going to foul him too when they came up there, and they thought the ref was going to call the foul, especially when he breaks out of the double team.
Yes,
but then he slipped. So, and I thought they actually called the foul, but then he was like out of bounds. So I was like, oh no.
Too many of these moments with Scott Brooks just saying, it's on me. Too many of these moments. They did lose last night against the Grizzlies. Simple things. They just didn't play defense. Dylan Brooks played really good defense against Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal if you look at a stat sheet, he had a decent game, but he worked for every single one of those buckets because of Dylan Brooks. John Moran had I think 35 points, 10 plus assists. He went off. But yeah, the Wizards, they still are in, I believe, 9th place or 10th place.
Yeah.
But they're only 2 games from 7th.
Yeah. And I mean, even that with that game with the Celtics, like if you really look at it, they were only like, it's so close in the East right now. It's like everybody's like 2 to 3 games behind 5th, which is the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Or 4th, the Knicks. Yeah, it's so close, but everybody's under 500.
I mean, yeah, and also the Wizards are only 8 games from the Nets.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's close. They could definitely make it up by playing good basketball, good defense, and that's it.
Yeah, man. I think Mo Wagner needs to play more in the second half.
Yeah.
He just can't be playing in the first quarter and that's it. He has to play more in the second half. I like Raul Nader. I think Thomas Bryant needs to get at least some playing time. Not Thomas Bryant, sorry. Troy Brown Jr. Thomas Bryant is injured. Troy Brown Jr. needs to get a little more playing time. Just come on. Like
it was weird to me. I forgot. I didn't remember he was on the team still. I thought he got traded for some reason. And then that Celtics game, it was funny because I was watching on my little stream thing, you know what I'm saying? And that stream was showing everything that in between timeouts.
Yeah.
You know so it wasn't switching off. You just see them and you hear the DJ doing his thing, whatever. And you're watching the timeout. And I'm like, hold up, is that Troy Brown?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, he needs more time. You know what I'm saying?
It went from he was playing too many minutes to no minutes now, which is just ridiculous. The Los Angeles Lakers, the favorite team of our co-host Matthew White. Shout out to Matthew White, bro. We missed you.
Big Matt.
Can't wait for you to get back on to the podcast. But Matthew White's a Los Angeles Lakers fan. The Lakers, they're struggling. They lost against the Suns last night with Devin Booker being ejected in the third quarter. And still lost to the Suns. I believe tonight LeBron James is not playing. Kyle Kuzma and Gasol may not be playing. Looks like it's going to be another L for them probably because but then they're playing the Kings. By the way, the Kings gave up an 8-point lead with like seconds left in the game.
Wow.
Other night against the Charlotte Hornets. Side note, the Hornets they look pretty good. They're exciting. LaMelo Ball, he's as good as advertised, and even better.
I always say he was better than Lonzo.
I didn't think he was. I thought Lonzo really was the pro, but I'll say this: LaMelo really benefited by going to Australia.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And playing in a pro league that is actually good.
Right.
If he had went to college, I don't think he'll be this good. Honestly, don't think so. I think being in a pro league, being an adult for a year, got him ready for the NBA. So
right. I think, you know what? Being there, instead of like him being able to go to like G League, I think he would have I don't think he'd have been as good even if he went to G League.
Let's now we forgot the Wizards. I mean the Lakers. Do you think this slump is going to mess up LeBron James's MVP hopes? Or is this just a phase in the season and they'll be right back?
No, I always said that the success that LeBron has hurts his MVP candidacy.
Mm.
So like the team being so good and winning a championship, he wouldn't have got the MVP. You know what I'm saying? So if he still balls out, he might be able to get it. But then again, I don't know what's up. I don't think this Lakers team, for some reason, is they have nobody behind LeBron and AD. You know what I'm saying? They have some pieces, but they're not real good pieces. Like Kuzma, not a real good piece at all. Not at all.
Man, oh man. That'll wrap it up here for our NBA segment. Let's now get into the NFL. JJ Watt signed with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, didn't see that.
2 years, 32 million with 23 million guaranteed. Do you think that was a good deal for
JJ?
When it comes to the Cardinals' perspective, do you think that was a good deal?
I mean, yeah. I mean, essentially, you're really not paying that much on him for a veteran player. And it's JJ Watt, you know what I'm saying? If he stays healthy, he's still at least top 10, you know what I'm saying, defensive wise. So, I think it's a good work for them. They do need some little pieces on defense, but they have some others that are still there. And they need something to help keep their offense out on the field. You know what I'm saying? So if they get a lot of 3 and outs, it's going to help that offense out. You know what I'm
saying? Now, the question is always, does this make them a Super Bowl contender?
No. Not at all. I do think they're the best team in the West right now.
In the NFC West?
Yeah. I think, and especially, some people, me, I said that JJ should either go Chiefs, Tampa Bay, Packers, or to Pittsburgh with his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
His easiest route, I would say his easiest route is the Cardinals out of the West to make it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're the best team to make it to the Super Bowl when you compare them to the other teams. But out of the West, I think that was his best. If we were just going by division, I think the Cardinals, that was his best route. I don't think Seattle would do anything. 49ers, nah. Yeah, Arizona.
Other news in the NFL, more rumors coming out of the Russell Wilson camp. Russell Wilson has 4 teams that he's interested in, that he wants to be traded to. One of those teams is the Dallas Cowboys. The other one is the Las Vegas Raiders, Chicago Bears, and the New Orleans Saints. Those are the teams that are on Russell Wilson's trade list. The Saints have a conundrum because Drew Brees is kind of like,
he hasn't retired yet.
He hasn't retired, and there's video of him training, pushing the sled already.
Hey, he saw Tom. He saw Tom win another Super Bowl, and Tom saying he ain't retiring until 45 at least. So Breeze is like, I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Let's not say that he's requesting a trade. He said that I want to be a Seahawk, but if for some reason you feel that you're looking for trades, these are the 4 teams I want to go to. It's like it's like a guy saying, I don't want to cheat. You know what I'm saying? But if you're giving me options, I want these 4 girls. You know what I'm saying? One of these 4 girls. You know what I'm saying?
It's an evil world we live in.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know, man.
Oh man. Yeah, man. He has his targets. We know, obviously, Dallas Cowboys is one of them. That's my favorite team. They have to figure out the things that's going on with Dak Prescott. It looks like the Cowboys are probably going to franchise tag him next week, so they're going to have more time later to come up with a contract. Ultimately, I think the Cowboys are going to be stupid to let this man play on the tag. I think that's what it's going to be. Now, if they really remember, I said if the Cowboys don't re-sign Dak Prescott, I'm no longer going to be a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah, you did say that.
I'm going to make a slight amendment. Because if they do trade for Russell Wilson,
you wouldn't be mad.
I'll be, I'll be like, okay, let's see how it goes.
Right.
Then there'll be a probationary period,
right,
for my Cowboys fandom, and then from then on, we'll see how it goes. But that'll be the only him or even Deshaun, But let someone else come up in this team. Nope, I'm done. I might just.
I mean, you got Andy Dalton. Look, I can't be laughing.
Yes, let's talk about your favorite team, Washington football team. They looks like they're going to release Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Alex Smith coming out guns blazing, talking about he feels disrespected and that he still wants to play. What's a team that you think he could play for?
Jets. Chicago. Could possibly even go back to the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This was not part of the rundown, but I feel like Washington should just try and make a trade for Derek Carr. I've been saying it for months. The contract is so good for both teams. The Raiders trading him, there's like very little that's going to be on the cap. And then also the amount that the Washington football team will have to cover in the trade. He comes in this division. You don't know what's happening with Dak. Dak could be out of here.
Right.
Derek Carr could be the best quarterback in the division.
Right.
But anyways, Alex Smith is out. I think Alex Smith will be good anywhere where there is a young quarterback.
Yeah, to help develop.
Be the backup. Yeah. To be a guy in the locker room. Everywhere he's gone, everyone has said he's been a good locker room guy.
Right.
No matter the situation. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes gives him lots of praise for getting him ready for his debut in the NFL. Came to Washington. Washington goes 6-2 before the leg injury.
Right.
Best team in the division. And then even this year, even though he struggled, even though he was limping up and down, he did put them in a situation where they made the playoffs because of his performances in several games.
Right.
So he can play a game or two a year. And I think he should be with a team that has a young quarterback. Maybe Jacksonville should be looking out for him. Or any team, or wherever team Justin Fields goes to, or Mac Jones, Mac Jones, those are the teams that need to be looking out for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. He could definitely. I always said that I think he'll be a very good coach once he retires.
And the favorite team of Matthews is the Minnesota Vikings. They released Kyle Rudolph, so he is on the free agent market. That'll wrap it up here for our NFL segment. Let's now get to our Champ and Chump of the week. Every week, we celebrate those that do well and we criticize those that do not. Starting with you, BigThad. Who's your champ of the week?
champ of the week is going to be, I think that my next couple of champs of the weeks are going to be the same person. And you know what? Drunk Tom Brady is my champ.
Why is he champ of the week?
So he was on the Late Show with James Corden, and James Corden was talking to him about, everything that happened in the parade. And Tom literally said, he's like, yeah, I don't remember as much of this parade that y'all do. He said he doesn't remember the trophy toss quite as well as everyone else. And that in the moment,
do hood stuff for my friend.
He said that in the moment he wasn't thinking, and it just seemed like something really fun to do by throwing the trophy.
Oh man, oh man, Tom Brady.
Yes, sir. Oh.
My champ of the week goes to Renee Montgomery. Renee Montgomery, former WNBA player. She took a leave of absence to continue her fight for social justice, and in the process got some investors, and now is a part owner of the Atlanta Dream. She took over the stake that Senator Loeffler, or the former senator,
Right.
she's not there anymore, took her stake. She is now a partial owner. She is the first athlete in one of the big sports to then become an owner of a team in their same sport. So she is my champ of the week. BigThad, who's your champ of the week?
Champ of the week is the Cleveland Mickey Callaway and the Cleveland Indians. Can we call it?
It's the Cleveland baseball team.
Oh, they the Cleveland baseball team now? I heard they were going to do that, but I wasn't sure.
I don't know if they officially did it yet, but I know they made that decision. They said it's going to happen. I just don't know if it's this year. It's spring training now. I don't know what's going on.
So Mickey Callaway, he's not with the Cleveland Indians right now anymore, but he is a pitching coach with the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And during his time with the Cleveland Indians, he was said to be in an extramarital affair with a fellow employee. So last month, The Athletic had a report about this.
Yep.
The Indians, they said they had no knowledge of his sexually inappropriate behavior. A follow-up report came out earlier this week, and it literally had the husband of the lady that was involved.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he contacted the Indians directly, talked to management, talked to MLB security, all this about the inappropriate behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So that included, I had to definitely quote it. It included unsolicited pornographic material. But the funny thing is, in this follow-up report, is that staff and players were interviewed, and it was said that his behavior while with the team was the worst kept secret in the organization. So everybody knew.
The evil world we live in.
Everybody knew. But management said, nah, dude, we didn't know nothing about this. It's the worst kept secret in the organization, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way they didn't know. When wives of other players knew, they knew about it. You know what I'm saying? They just said, hey, whenever you came in the door, he was the guy you're just supposed to stay away from. Yeah.
Does that sound like a Washington football team? What's up with the racial slur teams?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What's up with the racial slur teams?
Now, this is the thing, though. They're not saying that any of his stuff was sexual harassment or anything like that. It's just that his behavior was inappropriate. So, like, with him being in an affair with this man's wife, it was inappropriate behavior. And he's saying that, all their dealings between him and her were consensual. and that he hasn't done anything with his position to involve sexual harassment or anything like that. So that everything that they did in their affair happened outside of the organization. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
My chump of the week goes to Joe Herbert. Do you know who that is, Big Thad?
Joe Herbert. Why does that name sound familiar to me? Go ahead. Tell me.
He is the chump of the week because he did an interview with Bloomberg Business Week discussing his sneaker resale company. Started a company. He is like a lot of resellers, finding shoes, selling them at premium prices, or finding shoes that they call bricks, which are okay, they're discounted now, but eventually they're going to go up. So let me just hold on to it, and then I'll sell it at a premium price at the time. Became really big. Even during, he started selling out selling Supreme items. Then eventually went into shoes. Then, especially during the pandemic hit, he decided, let me take this big delivery van. I'm going to drive all over the country and buy as many shoes as I can from Nike outlets.
Okay.
And I'm going to any shoe, because Nike outlet, remember, you get them cheap, but they can resell, especially if they're good pairs. I think he bought, the number was something like, basically whatever he bought, I can't remember the amount. He ended up getting a monster profit when he eventually sold.
Wow.
Now he is popular. He's called West Coast Joe. Popular, but you never see his face. He always takes photos where he doesn't show his face. So he's kind of incognito. Well, the writer of the article realized that when Joe called him, the phone number came under a name, Ann Herbert. Ann Herbert, after he did some investigation, which didn't take long, Ann Herbert was one of Nike's executives.
No.
So then when the writer brought up, hey, I see you're calling from this phone number, Ann Herbert. I know Ann Herbert works for Nike. You live in Beaverton, Oregon. Like, is that your mom? He says yes, but then says, but she doesn't help me out with this. They do some more digging. There was at one point, Herbert made purchases to get shoes. Like, I think they were, it was some big release. $130,000 worth of shoes that he bought and then resold them to get an ultimate profit of $20,000 just on that release. But the writer then found out who his mother was. He was like, nah, don't use that. He then quickly ended communication with the writer. So the writer still wrote the article because he already had all the information that he told him. The article came out this week. His mother had to step down.
What?
She resigned because look, it looks terrible. And mind you, his mother is the person who pretty much convinced Nike to create the sneaker app. And remember, the sneaker app is for resale.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. We rather give it to resellers instead of putting it in stores that aren't Nike stores. That's why a lot of Nike shoes, you could go to stores and get Nikes, but a lot of the big releases, you're not going to get them at a Foot Locker.
No.
Initially, you're going to get them through the Nike sneaker app. His mother is one of the developers came up with the idea to do this. So obviously it was benefiting her son, who was a huge reseller. So she resigned. So yeah, Joe Herbert and her, because she allowed him to use her credit card for the purchases. And you're going to sit here and say, oh, she never helped me. So as you read the article, you realize he kept on saying, I have sources that
Right.
are telling me when stuff is being released. So I
Those
know
sources-
when to go on or like dates when stuff come out that the normal person would not know. So then he grabbed, and obviously he created bots, things like that. And look,
Right.
I don't think people are upset that he created bots and all that to buy the shoes. It's the fact
No.
that his
He had
mother worked
insider
really-
trading.
Yeah, it was insider trading. Exactly. It was insider trading. So now she decided to step down. Now she says that she disclosed the information of his sneaker company to Nike in 2018, which Nike confirmed, yes. I don't think Nike knew that he was using
Her card.
her credit card.
Right.
And when you can't tell me that your son racked up $132,000 worth of shoes from Nike
from his
and-
own money.
Yeah, and then that the mother had no inkling of it. So yeah,
Right.
they are the chumps of the week. Let's now get into our sports free zone. Take a break from all sports to discuss what's happening in pop culture. Did you hear about the CPAC?
You know what? The only thing I've heard about the CPAC, because honestly I didn't care, was someone singing the national anthem and it being like almost worse than Fergie.
Yeah. Ted Cruz, or Cancun Ted, Cancun Cruz, was there cracking jokes about being in Orlando. He said it's great to be in Orlando, but not as good as Cancun.
Too soon.
Wait. Look, man. I tweeted.
They don't care, yo. They don't care.
I tweeted this. I said, look, if he gets reelected again, Texas deserves everything that comes their way.
Big facts. Big facts.
They deserve everything that comes their way.
Yeah. He don't care about y'all. But y'all keep electing him. Nah, that's on y'all.
Your boy Donald Trump was there too.
You are fake news.
What my man say?
You know, saying that he won the election and that still kind of hinting that something may be happening later this week at the Capitol. That's why we still have the National Guard. You know, still here.
Mm-mm-mm.
And yeah, man. So, and it's saying that he's saying that he also isn't, you know, might make a run in 2024. So yeah, man, it's.
I mean, they didn't convict him, so I mean,
He could
still do it.
He
And
could
it's-
still do it.
And the party is scared of him, man. So hey, it might happen.
You had other people out there just saying, you know, the just the lies that's going on. Mind you, people weren't wearing masks; they were indoors. It's Florida, like that's why I keep on saying. Why do people want to go to Florida? Like Florida's trash, man. Like,
Hey man, hey look, my parents are in Florida right now.
I
love
you
it.
know,
I love it in Florida.
your parents need to go to like just go to Grenada then. Just go to Grenada. Go to the Bahamas. Go to the Florida Keys. Okay, I could deal with Florida Keys.
Yeah.
I know they're in West Palm. They're in a nice spot in West Palm Beach, but
Right.
they still close to Trump over there.
Yeah. But what about? I mean, so are we putting Texas on that level now too?
Texas trash too. The only reason I want to go to Texas is to watch a Cowboys game. The only reason why I want to go to Texas.
Texas said we open.
Yeah,
We
Okay.
wide open. And it's not like they weren't open before, but nah, we're just gonna announce it to y'all. We're 100% open here in Texas.
getting rid of all mask mandates,
Yep.
which is going to make things really crazy because stores and businesses are probably still going to be like, no, we are requiring that you wear a mask. People want to say, well, it's not a mandate anymore in the state.
Yeah.
And And mind you, businesses still have the right to say you got to wear a mask on our private property.
Right.
But that's just going to cause even more stuff. And like you said, it was kind of open already. It's about to be wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like an hour later, Mississippi said, "Oh yeah, we're same thing." Mind you, both those states haven't they haven't dispersed the COVID-19 vaccine efficiently.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They say Florida. They say Florida has been like the number one state to give out the vaccine to those 65 and older, and
Well, that's all that's in Florida.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, all right, cool.
What about the 18 and up?
They ain't part of that phase yet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't part of that phase yet.
So they opened up Texas, man. A few weeks before spring break, someone mentioned on Twitter, it's about to be cases about to not only skyrocket in Texas, it's going to skyrocket in other places too.
Lake Havasu, baby. Spring break. It's going to be lit.
Talking about the COVID-19 vaccine, President Biden said by May, there will be enough vaccines for every adult 18 and up to be able to get their doses. The plan was to get it done by July. It's already moved up to May. I'll say this. If by the end of May there still isn't enough, and mind you, I'm not saying that people have to be fully vaccinated by May 31st, but if we're finding out that states still don't have access by May 31st, we're gonna have some problems, because he could have just left it at July.
Yeah.
Just said, oh, we got it done earlier.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think, but see, you know what? I think the reason why he said something was because of the Johnson and Johnson.
True.
One.
Explain
and
that.
And then also, so Johnson and Johnson has their vaccine also. So now you have Pfizer, Moderna, and now Johnson and Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson and Johnson, I believe, is not an RNA vaccine like the other two.
mRNA.
Yeah.
And you say RNA, people
right. They're gonna freak out.
DNA, and somehow they're all changing. That's what we got right now.
Right. So it's not one of those. And also Johnson and Johnson, for them to get their dosages out and everything like that, one of their competitors is actually working with Johnson and Johnson to get these doses out and make so they have an ample supply, which is so wild to me that a competitor is like, hey, we're going to join you in doing this. So now we have twice the ability to get out these dosage and get them developed and all that good stuff. So I think that's why he jumped into May. But the thing is also, I don't think he realizes how many people are not taking the vaccine, like just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you could say that we're going to have enough doses for every person 18 and older in the United States. Who are we where did this count come from? You know what I'm saying? Is undocumented immigrants involved in this, even though they say they're undocumented. You know what I'm saying? Even though they say they're undocumented, but obviously they have a documentation of them there. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta let me know, like, how many people are we talking here? And how did you get to this number? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people here in the US of age, adults 18 to 65 and older than we think there is. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? He should have just kept quiet. So hey, hey, we got done early, or hey guys, we're not there yet. we gotta hold out to September. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Biden has to do really good because we'll get another. Fortunately, we'll get another Trump if he doesn't do well. That's why I'm like, yo, do what you got to do. Do what you follow up with the promises that you made. Like, come on, man. And because it's gonna be, you now got the House and the Senate also to get things done.
Right.
So, yeah, man, that for sure needs to happen. And not just with the COVID-19 vaccine, just everything else. Things need to happen in this country to get some change. T.I. and Tiny, you heard what's going on with them?
Nah, I don't stick around. Oh wait, hold on. Is it having to do with some like trafficking, human trafficking thing?
Yeah, human trafficking, rape, forcible rape, date rape, both of them too. T.I. and Tiny. More accusations are coming out.
Strategic. You're being strategic. You didn't put it in Black History Month.
Can't be discussing our L's during Black History Month.
I got you. I got you.
Oh, sir, not me.
Not today.
But yeah, man, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. And I always say this in situations like this. If it's the truth, then they need to be charged, tried, convicted, and incarcerated. That's always my thing. Once these rumors come out, if it's true, full extent of the law.
Facts.
That's what needs to happen. And a lot of people are now like, oh, T.I. was out here talking about his daughter's, sexuality because he knew what he was doing to other young women.
Ooh, yeah, that kind of
And not just him, the wife was in it too. When you think about it,
yeah,
she's in on it. So yeah, man, it is not looking good for them. I believe Gloria Allred is one of the attorneys that's going to be pressing charges, or that not pressing charges, because obviously she can't press charges. It has to be the district attorney that has to do it. But one of the attorneys that will be helping in the prosecution, if it ever gets to that point. So yeah, man, we gotta. My goodness, Eminem.
Okay, let me know. What's going
Hashtag cancel Eminem.
on?
Do you know what Eminem did?
No, what do you do now?
Eminem didn't really do anything. What happened was Gen Zs actually heard old lyrics.
Oh, come on. I thought it was something new. Come on, man.
And we're like, oh my goodness. Now, mind you, I tweeted this last year. I had to go look it up and see when I tweeted it was last year. I said, look, hip hop has been misogynistic from the jump. It's been that way. We know. At the same time, some of the stuff Eminem was rapping about, especially in his early career, is very problematic in the sense. It's
wild.
Very problematic. Talking about beating significant others, killing significant others. Just always talking about killing Kim, which was the ex-wife, his real ex-wife.
Like ex-wife, wife, ex-wife, wife again. Yeah. Yeah.
And then just the constant, I'm not going to hold him on the homophobic slurs because everyone back in the day, unfortunately, was saying that. Yep. And so I'm not going to hold him for that. But the femicide, the abuse, the beefs that he had with Mariah Carey for some reason. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's Mariah though. I wouldn't doubt it happened. I wouldn't doubt it one bit it happened.
you wouldn't doubt that what happened.
That everything their whole back and forth, that like it literally legit happened between them two. I think so.
Yuck. For Mariah's sake.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. She got with Nick Cannon though.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
yuck.
See, that's what I'm saying. So I can't put it past her. And then Nick want to be with her, back her honor, and I'm gonna go after Eminem, and then she drops you to the wayside. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
That's another yuck. Ugh.
Let's get off this whole Eminem thing.
But yeah, Eminem, Gen Z.
It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back every 3 to 5 years about canceling Eminem.
Let's get to Eminem's music though. What's the last album that you actually liked of Eminem's?
I actually haven't listened to his last album, the one that came out very, very recently. I think it was like a month or two ago. It might have been 3 months or so that it came out. I haven't listened to that yet. I did listen to the previous one.
Honestly, I think the last Eminem album that I've liked was the Eminem Show. And even then had some of the lyrics some of the stuff that we spoke about earlier.
Hell yeah.
But still, like
don't get me wrong. Old Eminem joint come out, I'm rapping right along with it. I ain't gonna lie. Like for real. It was Eminem was fire. You know what I'm saying?
Did you even know that Lil Pump had done a diss track to him?
Who? No, I'm serious. Who? Lil Pump?
Yeah, Lil Pump.
I have no idea who that is, bro.
You don't know who Lil Pump is?
Nope.
He's not a good rapper.
See, there you go.
Lil Pump. I do like one of his songs with Kanye.
Is that the one with the video with Kanye? It looked like they were in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what song you're talking about. I didn't know that was Lil Pump. I knew there was a little something and then there was somebody in it, but I really didn't pay attention to anything he was saying rapping.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's Lil Pump. Terrible rap. Other news out, not really news. This tweet fired off on well, obviously Twitter because I said tweet. If your celebrity crush was interested in going out on a date with you, but you did not have money for some reason, or a lot of money, what would you do as the date?
That's a good question. Smash. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Real talk. Like, no money. We're talking no money. It's either one thing. See, the thing is, if you don't got no money, then your pride's going to come along and your pride is going to say, I'm not going to ask them to pay for the date. So there's only one option after that. It's either, oh yeah, come by, blah, 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 for a home cooked meal or something like that. And have like one of our aunts cook it or something. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, if there was no other option, smash. That's it. That's it.
Oh man, you just jumped the gun and just said smash.
Yep. Just straight to smash it, bro. Because there's nothing else you could do.
Man.
What say you? What say you, sir?
I mean, what I would do. mind you, this is my hypothetical. I'm not married, by the way. I got to put that out there.
You are married.
No, I'm saying hypothetically, I'm
okay.
not married in this situation.
Okay, got you.
Right.
My celebrity crush. Who is my celebrity crush, by the way? I don't even know.
I can't think of mine right now.
I mean, obviously, you can never go wrong with Rihanna. Side note, there was a point in my life where I said Rihanna was not top 25. And then went on to name 25 women.
Hey, I think, well, you know what? I couldn't put her in my list, yo, because I honestly think Rihanna is one of our cousins, yo.
Oh, that is true.
Like, dead serious. I think somewhere along the line, she's one of our cousins and we just don't know it yet.
Oh man. But yeah, so I actually at one point, said those blasphemous things. So I felt so bad I ended up deleting my tweets. Like years later, like this when I become famous, y'all will not slander me. Y'all will not slander me and say that Jeremy was out here wilding,
right?
And saying these things. So yeah, man. But yeah, I didn't even answer the question. If I had to, can never go wrong with a date to any of the Smithsonians because they're free.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But so, then again, if they celebrity, they most likely have been there.
No,
not Washington. For a function. Oh yeah, for one of them big functions that we can't go to because we don't got enough money. Yeah, it was probably at the Smithsonian. But no, I feel you though. Free Smithsonian trip.
But yeah, so there's so many Smithsonians out there,
right,
for free, So you bring them there, get a little. There's food trucks around there. Just get a little snack, chill outside, and call it a day.
Get smashed, bro.
You are the guy. These women.
No. I'll tell you right now. And you know what? We might have to ask Erika the same question because I'm sure there's a lot of women out here and their celebrity crush that damn sure is in there. Smash. If they can't get anything done, especially if you don't got no money, no, because most likely that crush is gonna spend the money.
No. We gotta ask the question. When she comes on, we gotta ask the question.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna have that same answer too. It's like eventually the end all result is gonna be smashing, bro. All because it's your celebrity crush. There's no way you're not gonna want to not smash. Come on.
Man, oh man. Oh, so remember,
this is hypothetical. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetical. I think end all result is smashing. Because your celebrity crush, you'll probably never see them ever again. Smash. That's it.
So yeah, like I said, Smithsonian, that is free. That's what I'll say, man. That's what I will say.
I got you.
What are some other ideas you could think of?
Oh, okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, you know what I'm saying? We'll have home cooked meal. You know what I'm saying? Forget going out to one of these restaurants or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'd say, a movie. You know what I'm saying? Movies aren't crazy expensive.
You don't have money. You have no money.
You have no money at all, right? That's what you're
or
saying,
you're
right?
really low. The movie theaters is expensive.
Come on, bro. You can still find like a
It's
$8.99.
$15 for a movie for each person.
Man, come on, bro.
You ain't even get a bottle of water yet. For a cup of water.
See, but you see, look, man.
The Smithsonian is free.
I understand that, but you talking about food trucks and all types of stuff too.
Okay,
Some of those food trucks ain't cheap, man. Some of the food trucks ain't cheap.
But it's still cheaper than admission for 2 at a movie theater.
That's true. But then after that, I mean, will we go, cruising around the city or whatever, watching the sights, looking at the sights, passing clubs and bars that you can't get into because you got no money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one of your friends has a house party or something we could go to, chill, say what's up to folks and whatnot.
DC has a lot of free stuff that's good. So yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
around
And
the
then and then eventually it goes to the end all, Jay. Smash, bro. Come on. Gotta close the deal. You know what I'm saying? Close the deal.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. I'm trying to think. I had something else in the rundown. Oh, have you Candace Owens. Familiar with Candace Owens?
Yeah.
She would just be wilding. But word has come out that Candace Owens was actually ran a liberal blog in college.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard something about that before. That she wasn't all like she is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost kind of like all that she's doing right now is more of a show than reality with her. And
Yeah, man. So I knew about it because rumors been going around that she was a liberal blogger, and then that she actually sued a school district for discrimination.
Yep.
But then, a few years later, it's a few minutes later, it's I don't believe in white privilege, or I don't believe in discrimination. So yeah, man, that's but Candace Owens, she be wilding. Now I'll wrap it up here for our. Actually, let's not wrap it up yet, because we're gonna actually ask our guest. She goes by Curls and Sports on all social media. She is a journalist, and I'm gonna let her tell you everything else that she does. Let's welcome Erika Fernandez. Erika, how are you?
Thank you so much for your patience. We just moved, so I'm here like going from room to room. The Verizon guys outside still installing the Wi-Fi. It is what it is.
First of all, thank you, because you could have just said I got stuff to do.
True.
So thank you.
Like, I didn't want to cancel and be, a total. Yeah, first of all, can I curse?
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, I didn't want to be a big asshole and be like,
No. Life happens. We actually knew what you were doing. You told me, and you were like, but I'm still gonna do it. So I appreciate you coming on. Before we even get to the sports part, though, I just asked that a question. The question was,
yes,
if your celebrity crush actually gave you an opportunity to take them out on a date, but you did not have any money, what would you be doing to accommodate?
Well, what's funny? I always read about like married couples that have like their hall pass with celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder, like, would I get away with it this one time? And like, but my favorite is, and you guys are going to be like, really though? I'm shocked. I've always had a crush on Johnny Depp.
Okay.
I
Affleck.
Take a
Right? I'm like, let me prepare y'all for that. But I feel like, you know what? I think, I think there's other forms of payment that would be acceptable that is borderline prostitution.
So that is kind of what
see, see, I told you.
Thad said. Oh, I don't have money. Then we're just gonna, have a good time together.
Yeah, can't put this on credit.
Right.
All right, let's actually get into the sports. First, you've been on the podcast before, but let's do a little recap. Let the listeners know where you're from, your occupation, and how you got into it.
Of course. Well, thank you both for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm so proud of you guys for the growth. Truly obsessed with it because, people, I feel like, we grew up and we used to look at each other's competition. Meanwhile, it's like, you can just get so much better with support as opposed to, looking at each other's numbers and whatever and pay attention to the followers. But Curls in Sports, spelled normal, nothing crazy on social media. I've been in sports for 7 years now, and I feel like I could talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, the having to fix my cover letter 1,000 times, even though I don't want to. The fact that I knew who got the job versus me and my 2 other friends who should have gotten the job. But let me put that in the past. It's behind me. It's a few years ago.
Don't put it in the past. Use it as motivation.
Yeah, true. Or, a little bit of anger. But anyways, I've been working on a podcast for about 6 months now. I had a little bit of a hiatus. The months of November and December really kicked my butt. So truly trying to work my way back into it. And with the weird season, it's crazy because I feel like this would have been a great season for me to cover the Knicks, but with COVID going on, I'm not going to get in line and make sure to get a COVID test each and every single time I'm going to the Garden. To me, it's protocol, but that's OD. I could just cover from my couch and call it a day, as opposed to hopping on the train and going all the way to the city just to get a COVID test 4 times a week.
Now, you mentioned the New York Knicks. That's one of the teams that you have covered or you do cover.
Yeah.
What are some other sports teams that you do cover?
Yeah, so I love to cover boxing. Boxing to me is slowly been climbing up. I feel like I grew up around boxing, but now being able to be in that atmosphere, it's so dope when you can actually hear a physical punch. It's like I'm hearing in my head now, like you just have to experience it. I've covered NFL, and because of the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, I feel like I've stepped away from NFL. I'm not gonna lie, even a little bit as a fan. Like I know it's gonna make me sound super dumb. I kind of forgot that Daniel Jones was the Giants quarterback.
He's forgettable.
Everybody else did anyways, but but I always make sure to keep up my hate with the Cowboys hateration.
I know.
That's right. Yes.
Every week she breaks my heart with a meme about the Cowboys.
And they're hilarious. Like, I mean, I've seen worse, I have to admit, and I'll send them to you privately. Can't put them out there because it's like, because I think I know your sense of humor right now. I think you wouldn't get offended, but some of them are like, ooh, like, you guys OD, but I laughed, but I'm not gonna share. But yeah, I've been on this ride for a while, and I got a taste of social media while working at DAZN, and that's DAZN is kind of seen as the Netflix of sports, but they're still a startup. They have currently, Canelo's their biggest guy right now, along with other boxers. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride, and looking forward to seeing what's next. Just got to keep on applying and don't keep your hopes up. It's something I've learned.
Now, what actually I know the question, I know the answer, but let the listeners and viewers know what actually got you into sports. What drove you to choose this as a profession?
Of course. Well, I thought I really wanted to stay in the music business for some reason. In college, I did communications major, and then I did journalism as well as broadcasting. But I don't know why I thought I wanted to do like PR in music. And then I found that it's very much rinse and repeat. But you could say the same thing about sports, rinse and repeat, new season, new stat, new everything. But I feel like with sports, it's just so much more exciting. And I grew up around it. So definitely my father and my brother have been a great influence on me. and even people around me. So yeah, so that's how I've gotten into sports.
So Erica, as a journalist and sports journalist and all that, have you been following the sale of the Atlanta Dream?
The one more time?
The sale of the Atlanta Dream with
Yes,
all
I
that.
have been.
So what do you think about that sale? How do you feel? How you feel about that?
I think that it's probably one of the best things that could have happened this year. I didn't have it on my bingo card. I feel like everyone was anticipating that to definitely happen, and I'm just glad it's done. It's in writing. A player, I forget her name. She's a part owner, and I think it's just so amazing because when people really rally and get together, like we're just powerful as opposed to seeing each other as competition. Like I said earlier with podcasting.
Right. Now, do you feel that there's going to be more players coming up? Like a Sue Bird or a Diana Taurasi or some of the older players that used to play. You think they're going to start doing stuff like this also?
I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like low key, it's definitely in the works. And, former players buying a team, like who else would it be better as opposed to, people with just big ass bank accounts? Like, why not get someone who is actually in the league, who knows the benefits to the players, who knows how to reach out to the fans? Because that's something that WNBA still struggles with is, ticketing is how they make their money. And only as someone I covered on the Liberty for a few seasons. And I can't tell you the number of times I'm just looking around. I'm like, wow, this arena shouldn't be this empty. These tickets should be a little bit more accessible. But then also the scheduling time. Like I remember there was a game at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday in just straight July. But who's the only one who's able to attend? Like kids. And I think that's great that they're exposing kids to show them like women can do the same thing as men. But I feel like with ticketing aspect, like I think that's still something that marketing level they haven't really quite figured out.
Now, the reason why I also brought you on to this podcast, it is Women's Month.
Yes.
So we're doing women in sports for the month of March. What are some of the challenges that women have working in an industry that is male dominated?
I feel like you always have to prove yourself. Your knowledge is tested constantly. It's like, you're a baseball fan, cool. Who's the Yankees first baseman? I don't know. Google does. But I mean, low key, I do know. But those kind of questions are obnoxious to ask because, like, I don't know a player's. I've even heard like ridiculous questions like, what's their blood type? It's sassy and sarcasm, but working in a male dominated room, like you realize that one, not only is media still very much white, and then you're holding a lot of responsibility on your own shoulders because you're also opening the door for some more people, not only just white people, but Black people to enter the room, Latinos to enter the room. Like my biggest advocators have always been Black journalists in the room. Like they're the ones who I've gotten friends with first, and then slowly it's like, oh, the white journalists came around. I mean, not to say we don't need allies, but to certain older media, culturally, it's important to also be able to identify. Like a lot of players, in baseball, for example, they don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, they don't speak English. So how are you able to convey the question and make sure you capture that emotion? A white reporter wouldn't know how to do that because one, he's probably not even fluent and doesn't even know the slang. So same thing could go for NBA, where these media rooms are so white and they have nothing in common and they can't even relate to our Black athletes. So I can't tell you the number of times I've looked around. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the only girl here. And even though I'm light skinned, like I know my privileges, but I can't tell you the number of times that I've always felt like a little bit outnumbered, but still grateful for the opportunity there because you're able to enter the room where you didn't think you'd be able to go inside.
Now, what do you think because the sports industry is so male dominated that it is making women apprehensive to try and be part of it? Do you think that's part of it?
No, I think if anything, it just adds to like our desire to even push these doors and these walls down more, to be in these spaces and be recognized, and not just as media, as like, director of partnerships, director of social media, working alongside players, player representation. Like we're seeing a lot of powerful agents that are women now. So I think that that's something that we have to recognize as well. So it could be seen like as intimidating, and I could understand that angle. But I think further, for me, it was more of a drive, but it's still intimidating nonetheless to be able to see like the room is outnumbered. Like, how do you get your voice? How do you speak up?
Now, have you had any mentors, women or men, that have helped you along the way?
Yeah, for sure. There's this. This is why I was saying the word earlier with allies. Like, you do need your white allies. There's this great, amazing reporter. I'm sure you guys know who he is. Ian Begley. He was from ESPN and now he's with SNY. He has been amazing since day one, and you can just tell, like, by his demeanor, how he carries himself. He's very much about, letting others an opportunity. So he would always ask me, like, how's work going? What are you working on? And I think you need that, because you're not seeing this person as competition again, but you're also just want to make sure that you're kind of just being equal. So I think that he's coming from a good place. I'm sorry guys for my background.
It's COVID. Like, everybody gets something going on.
It's not the drill going off, it's the damn dog.
It's good. It's all good.
Yeah, but a lot of, like I said, like my first interaction was definitely with Black journalists, and with directing, even to how to get to the court. Like, hey, do you need help? And it's like, yes, I do. I don't have it all figured out. Can you tell me which is the door to the damn court? Because I don't even know where I'm going. And I remember I was too proud to ask. And I'm looking back and I'm like, you were so stupid. You could just ask a question. Like, how do I get to the court?
Now, you've covered a lot of teams, a lot of sporting events. What was the best interview that you ever had?
Ooh, that's an easy one for me, only because it was recent and because he was so transparent. Oscar de la Hoya. I felt bad asking about it, but I reviewed the questions with him first, and then he signed off on it. I got to ask him about his mom, the loss of his mom, because he lost his mom, I think, like 17 or 18 right before he went to the Olympics. So he was really open talking about her cancer. And I think she died of breast cancer, if I'm not mistaken. But I love that, because I was uncomfortable asking those questions, but then I saw him very relaxed. Maybe that's just a way for him to have therapy through grieving. Obviously you never stop grieving, because, the loss of a parent, I can't even imagine that. You just learn to live with it. But I love that interview so much, because I feel like I didn't hear him answer those questions in any other place. And I was really happy that at the time I was working with DAZN. That's how I was able to ask him those questions and keep the interview for myself, because they never put it out there.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
To wrap up this segment, what is your dream job?
Oh my goodness. My dream job used to be, I don't even know. Damn, you kind of put me on the spot, because I just said used to. Maybe my own psyche just revealed what I'm really thinking. I really wanted to be a sideline reporter, and then noticing how the shift of the industry has changed. I think that it's either those spots are already permanently placed for like at least 20, 30 years from now. And with social media booming, I feel like you could also do like social reporting, which is what a lot of us are doing. Like, look what you guys are doing here on StreamYard and using technology to your advantage. I feel like as of late, I ultimately just want to work in, baseball is my heart, it's my favorite. I would love to be able to work for a great organization and kind of just be like the team representative in some sort of capacity. I was thinking of how to DM Steve Cohen and be like, hey, I think you need more Latin representation in your front office. What's up?
Hey.
You never know, that probably might not get across. But yeah, I feel like, that title has kind of changed for me. It's kind of very much broad. Because there's so many opportunities. Like, look at everyone, like these TikTok stars. Like, there's no longer YouTube stars that are coming out. Now you're a TikTok star. So I feel like the possibilities are endless. But right now I would say, yeah, I definitely would love an opportunity to work in baseball at some sort of capacity. I haven't been able to break into baseball. That's one thing. They are very much, they hold on tight. They're conservative as hell, and it's frustrating.
Big Thad, do you have any questions before we get out of here?
No, that's it. I want to say thank you. You're awesome.
No, right
It'll
back at you guys.
definitely come back on the show.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, thank you for having me.
You definitely have to come back on because I want to get into even more actual sports with you.
Yeah.
So I want to. So we'll have to make this somewhat of a routine to have you on. We greatly appreciate it, especially taking the time. Like you said, you moved, so we're grateful that you were able to come on. Before you go, let everyone know where they can reach you and catch everything that you do.
Of course. So you guys can find me at Curls and Sports, spelled normal, nothing crazy. Podcast is hopefully coming out regularly back once a week. I've been looking at my notepad. I have to make sure to just finish up the topics for the week. And yeah, feel free to slide into my DMs if you have any questions regarding working in sports because we got to keep it up front.
Talking about the notepad real quick. You have convinced me to get a notepad.
Oh yeah.
So I will. I used to be like, I just use my computer on my phone. Nope. I'm going to get a notepad to write down all my stuff.
Question: have you noticed how your handwriting, like, do you struggle with writing? Did you notice that some words, like, you're like, why am I misspelling things?
Yeah. That it's terrible. It's terrible now.
Technology. Yep. I noticed. I was working at some temp assignment, and they didn't have for some reason they didn't have a computer for the week I started, so I had to take down manual notes, and I'm just like, why am I struggling how to write? What the hell's going on? And I realized that we're relying too much on this, and typing away. So I think I picked up that habit maybe about 6-7 years ago, and I'm very much a post-it person, so I like to make sure to keep on writing.
Well, thank you once again, Erika. Make sure you check her out, Curls and Sports everywhere, and the Curls and Sports podcast. We greatly appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Guys, stay safe.
Yep. That's Erika Fernandez, Curls and Sports.
That was dope. You got to have her on more often.
Yep. Thad, you got a big pool match tonight, so I'm about to let you go in action.
Yes, sir.
About to wrap up the show. So, Big Thad, I want to thank you for everything that you do.
Thanks for having me as always.
Any shout outs for you before we get out of here?
Nah, not this week. Maybe next week. Besides the usual, our cousins acting up, especially Chrissy. And I know she's listening to this or watching this right now. Chrissy, we watching you. We synced you. We synced it.
And Andrea. Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. And my sister, Andrea. Yeah. Like, real talk. Yeah. It's oh, man. Yeah. We'll talk about that next week.
Shout out to OSS 980, Harold D. Jeff, Aaron, Soggy Nachos, Shut Your Face, 4th and 13 podcast, What You Expect podcast, We Ain't Got Our Shit Together podcast, Just Bear With Us podcast. Also, shout out to Trezzo Beach, Ming Raina's Doll Parts, Eat the City DC, Minor and Associates. Check them out if you're looking for a home. Also, Jacaro Dodd, who's also another real estate agent. The Dual Exchange, my boy Mike Edwards. Make sure you check him out. He got the live show on Fridays. The Dual Exchange on YouTube. And that'll wrap it up here for the Sports Free Zone. Until next time, everyone, sports reality. Peace.